The Whisper's gone this time. Suppose this leaves an awful lot in the pool for OG.
Still the Shadow Fiend now. OG then decides to ban it out, knowing that Secret has the first pick. We're back to
Bane,
Winter Wyvern, the Slaughter. Luckily for OG, Moomiander has proven to be an exceptional Earthshaker player as well, something they can easily get up on the 3rd and 4th pick, so they don't even need to commit to an offlaner right now. We've seen them play the Darkseer, but it's not exactly that needed, and I think it's too telling of the draft, and when we've gotten up to this level of enemies that we've seen, I don't think the Darkseer has been particularly successful for how they want to execute their playstyle.
The Winter Wyvern, very clear support to pick up here, but what do you guys think about like the Night Stalker? OG, is that a hero that they can actually go against Team Secret? Is it enough of a tempo push forward that can establish dominance by 15?
Yeah, I think the Night Stalker is a great pickup. The Dazzle here is the only, it's been so successful for OG. The only concern is that there's still the AA in the pool, and it should be a very apparent pickup. They do go for the Bane, something that they've been very successful with.
I think they want stronger support in the early game. AA is good for C6, but as we said, bring the fight early. Bane is good at level 1, will secure the mid lane for whoever it is, for Team Secret, and even good on those level 1 skirmishes.
So we saw Secret banning out the Undying last time around. Despite having supports picked up by OG, they actually did alternate and put the Tusk on the off lane. So in that way, that was pretty smart, but now you're dead set on these two being the supports. There's no way they're not right.
And they don't want to give Miracle the Alchemist again, I would imagine.
They don't want to give him the Alchemist, but at the same time, I don't think we've ever seen Moonman play an Undying offlane, so you don't need to commit a ban for that now.
I'd also say that the Invoker would potentially be worth a ban here from Team Secret, as they still have heroes that are susceptible to the Quaswex Invoker. Slardar, very much slow, very limited mana pool, and I would say Bane even.
EMP is just generally annoying to play against for any hero in the game.
Yeah, Bane is very reliant on a somewhat limited mana pool, and he's also a stationary target that's very easy to disable. Long-range Tornado can catch him out, even if he's in the background.
So a lot of cheese left.
A lot of
Certainly.
I mean, Bane's actually pretty good versus Huskar, right? Like if he gets Grave, you can just sleep him. If he's low, you can sap him.
and people.
Yeah. I think it's pretty decent actually. So maybe less so worried about that than, let's say, the Meepo.
They do go for the Husker Band.
Okay.
The entire skill set of Bane is just so annoying to play against, regardless of what carry you have.
This
you
does
always have to worry.
The Darkseer out in the pool when you already have Winter Wyvern for OG.
Considering the run and which games they've won and which they've lost, I favor the Earthshaker a lot more than the Darkseer.
You want to see another Moonshaker?
Yeah, I think it's been absolutely brilliant.
Sometimes it's one of those things where a player feels so incredibly comfortable and is on such a good tempo run with a kind of hero that you would rather pick up that hero that's more preferable to him specifically rather than perhaps an overall strategy win.
I think that's what's great about the latest patch is that it's relatively balanced in such a way that players can do that and still make a difference.
Oh yeah, we've seen that a lot, especially with us analyzing the game. Sometimes we just get into a draft, we have no idea what's going on.
OG did not ban away the Wind Ranger, Ancient Apparition, and obviously the Ember Spirit were smart bans, but it does leave an opening for Team Secret if they want that in combination with the Slardar. You still have the Winter Wyvern as well as Dazzle, though. They're pretty strong against that single target, so if they leave it out for Team Secret, I think it's acceptable, but...
Don't they want like an early game fighter right now for no-tail though? Like, PL's already banned out, so maybe Gyro, let's say.
Gyro, they can also sort of, I don't know. I was about to say Night Stalker, but then you don't have the option of going back to the Earthshaker. Maybe just picking up the Wind Ranger, sort of pick blocking Weeha as well.
I like Gyro a little bit more. He's even more early game than Wind Ranger. I like the pressure already out from the laning phase.
The thing is, by picking the Gyro, oh well, we have seen Miracle play the Gyro as well, so yeah, I think that's a possibility, just so they still leave that opening for Exactly, leaving that opening for the Meepo pick in case they need no tail on it. There's still a Brood in the pool as well.
Queen of Pain and Wind Ranger, I think, are the two most likely pickups for Team Secret.
They won't pick Queen now. I think they go. OG will just immediately go strong with the Invoker pick, and we'll have a very similar story to last game.
Yeah.
So Queen, I think, is a no-go, at least for third, maybe fourth, but...
Well, the difference being that the support already for Team Secret is better than they had last time around.
I still think it's just not a good matchup overall.
Yeah, interesting. The Secret of, or rather we, has played Wind Ranger 6 times at Frankfurt, only once when Secret have gone for a Squadron.
I think the Wind Ranger is a good pick here. It's not a giveaway of anything.
It's not good versus Winter Wyvern, though.
Yeah, it's actually bad versus the two supports, but it's very strong versus the core Gyrocopter when you have Slardar. It's just the early physical damage that is really threatening to a Gyrocopter. But OG are so good at playing together as a team that if he can rely on his Winter Wyvern and Dazzle, I think OG would still be fine.
They do go for the Queen of Pain? This can be an Eternal Enemy Queen of Pain, though. It's not a dead giveaway for the mid lane, and I think if there's one thing they've learned, it's that they need a fight early on, they want to fight early on, so having Eternal Enemy playing a carry position that can help with that is probably more favorable to going for an Entamate again, for instance.
I'd still like to see OG pick up the Invoker right now, though.
Yeah, Ben, when you responded that it would just be an Invoker pickup from OG, I was with you.
But what if they then pick the Bounty Hunter and puts a lot of pressure on the middle lane early on?
I mean, Claus White's Invoker is not really vulnerable to Bounty Hunter ganks, I think. You can just Tornado or run away.
Yeah, you're not necessarily needing a bottle or early pickups because the Quas regen as well, so...
There's still the Alchemist left too. Team Secret actually left that in the pool for...
Okay, Lim's in a...
It's good against the Bane movement, but generally speaking, I'm a bit surprised by this considering how open the pool is, but I guess they just really want to hold Miracle's pick for the last. Potentially no tails as well, if the Gyrocopter does go on the middle lane, or in a carry position.
Yeah, considering that Clockwork isn't very good versus Queen of Pain, whereas heroes like Nightstalker are direct counters to her, I am surprised as well. Like, it's Lockdown versus Slardar and Bane, but I think you would rather address Mihaz or potentially Eternal Envy's hero better.
And even then, the Earthshaker pretty much does the same thing that the Clockwork does in terms of dealing with the Bane movement.
Still got the Alchemist there for Miracle, potentially.
I think it's a pretty good Brood game, though.
Yeah.
So what offlane would you have preferred over the Clockwork? What does the Clockwork offer that the other ones didn't?
Honestly, I would have preferred them to hold the offlane pick for the last one. There's so many good Moon Meander heroes left that there was no rush to do it. I understand why they really want to hold out on the mid lane pick, but I still think it would have held more value of just picking up either the Invoker again, even a Wind Ranger.
You could argue that the Clockwork forces fights better than pretty much any other offlaner because if he hits his hook, he gets the cogs.
Oh, yeah,
There's a fight guaranteed, right? And that's what OG want to be able to make sure happens, is that Team Secret aren't able to just dance around and have small skirmishes. They want full-out fights.
Especially with the absence of Tusk, and I definitely agree with that point.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Tusk was their kind of hero that made sure in that last game that there was always going to be these fights no matter what Team Secret did, just because Snowball and Ice Shards controls heroes so well. You can't retreat.
Still a Meepo in the pool, can still be picked by either side and fit into their lineup.
Wow. Okay, OG removed the Invoker.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that we were talking about Invoker and Meepo, but the thing is, both of these 8,000 matchmaking points players, Weehaw and Miracle, they both exceptionally good on the heroes.
So the Brood's still there. The Alchemist's still there.
Is there any other better pick than Alchemist?
I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
You like the Wind Ranger pick?
I like the Wind Ranger pick, but really, like, I'm a cowboy, Brandon. I really don't want to say anything wrong.
If this is a miracle pick, which we assume it is, he's played one Wind Ranger here at Frankfurt.
Yeah, and it's just not at all as convincing as when we have plays. These two players, as good as they both are, and they're overall on the same level, Weeha's Wind Ranger is just so much better than
Still could be like something like Viper too.
Could be a Viper.
Viper's not a bad idea. They do go for the Alchemist. Tried and tested.
Team Secret have a swarm of responses, though, I think, left available. They could go for, like the Viper we were talking about, they could go for a mid-Razor. They could still have the Queen of Pain mid, and then pick up a carry that they feel is going to be able to match the Alchemist's level. For example, the Animage that we've seen before.
Yeah, they must have seen this one coming. The difference being now they've seen how EG lost with the Anti-Mage. They themselves just lost with the Anti-Mage due to the early game pressure they felt from OG. So I think there's a lot of fear going into this pick, knowing that they just beat Anti-Mage twice.
Is our final pick, and that one's taken a few of us by surprise as we head back to the commentary team for game 2.
That's right, as game 2 gets underway, we have to ask ourselves the question: do you believe in the dream that is the run of OG Dota, or do you believe in the power that is Team Secret? Cinderin?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, I believe in the dream that it's OG, but I also believe so strongly that Team Secret are one powerful team. Now they've got wonderful heroes, great maneuverability around the map. The Slark we get to see really so aggressive up against the Alchemist. I know you were hoping for the Anti-Mage being probably the best pick up against the Alchemist. What do you think of the Slark?
I wouldn't say Anti-Mage was the best pick up against the Alchemist, but again, I want to see teams try to... A team like Secret in the past has been so good at playing this kind of split push style, and this game, to me, again, I think they have the opening, especially because this time around, it's Moon Meander on a Clockwork, it's not on the Shaker, it's not on the Tusk. They don't have that good heroes, once again, to deal with an AM. I'm saying that after I saw EG get beaten by an Alchemist when they played the AM, but to be fair, I thought their draft was good in that game too. They just made some misplays. PPD also tweeted out, we can't win the championship with the amount of misplays we made in that game. But it's going to be a Slark. So let's talk about Slark. It's a very rare pick these days. The main thing that triggers it here is, of course, the Alchemist. Slark can lay into the Alchemist over time and just steal so many stats and get extremely powerful over the course of team fights. It's a great pick against Clockwork in the sense you can pounce both into and out of cogs. It actually doesn't knock back you when you pounce, so you can get over it. And this is... I mean, the panel we're talking about the last couple of games being a bit pubby, this is one of the classic counter picks in public games to Alchemists, actually. So that might be the source of inspiration here for Team Secret with Eternal Envy. I think, once again, the drafts are good, and we're just seeing the emphasis OG put on these defensive supports. This time, they first phase pick both the Dazzle and the Wyvern. And that's just their style. We'll see if Secret have the solutions for it this time.
And it's worthwhile when you have players like Crit, like you were mentioning in the previous game. He just came up with so much money out of nowhere, always there at the right time, at the right place. And Fly's Dazzle play was unbelievable. And they're able to get such a huge advantage because, again, they've done this early movement into the Radiant jungle. And with the double wards, the funny thing is, though, Pilot Eye might be able to find both of these. This is actually a very standard play from OG to plant down both of these, both Sentry and Observer, in these almost exact positions. This ward that Pilot Eye is now moving towards is just a little bit further to the left. And yeah, he actually reads it perfectly and will take out both of these wards.
Will it be on time? It's close! Oh!
No camp to spawn. 30 seconds. The dream is not real on that front.
It's actually interesting that Pi, we very rarely see this, goes for both sentries before he sees that the camp is actually blocked, but of course, this is a pattern from OG that they have read, and I do believe he placed the wards very well here, so should be alright to pull the camp in 10 seconds.
OG will have to mix it up a little bit later. Eternal Envy has got Moon so low. Moon can keep Cog pushing back the Slark, but you'll notice also the build that Envy has gone, and this is only like a level 1 Slark, but you've got that essence shift. So all he's going to do is just keep walking a little bit closer towards Moon, take out a little bit of it, and then just wait for Puppey to bring in the extra damage. And that's what he brings by going for that early point up in Brain Sap. He's not looking for the Nightmare into Leash combo, he's actually looking just to kill Moon, if possible.
A very good cogs here. The way Clockwork deals with this lane is to drain the mana of Slark. If he can't do that, Eternal Envy is going to take complete control of the lane, and they've done all right so far. Moon, I think, has played this lane about the best he can.
How does Misery approach this game? The last game, it wasn't really terrific for him. The Blink Dagger was delayed for what seems like forever. Now he's been put in the safe lane with a little bit of help from Pylai Dai. Still up against a Gyro as well as a Dazzle, so we can't find kills. Is there any way that Secret can zone out a Dazzle Gyro?
The key thing is just to pull.
That's
the
it.
fact that the pull is open allows them to very easily just pull the way back. You saw Misery there getting quite a few CS under the tower. You don't want to contest out in the middle of the lane. You'll see Misery won't even try to go for CS. This lane, if he goes for a CS, he can get hit by a Shadow Wave. The Gyrocopter, of course, with the Rocket Barrage will pressure him so hard he has to go back. He's going to buy the boots and just walk back here. And now Highlight Eye with another pull. This one is actually... Oh, he got it because it was Nulls. Or they're called Vools now. So just why not?
He could be Warcraft Send.
And there is some CS here for Misery.
Yeah.
Gets all three. So far, so good for Secret this time. I think their laning is the right one. The mid lane in particular, Alchemist against Queen of Pain, is a very difficult lane for the Alchemist to begin with. And Weeha has definitely taken an aggressive stance on it.
It's also very difficult when Miracle doesn't get the rune control he's looking for. Eternal Envy and Puppey, it only takes, like, Envy can be left alone on this top lane, so Puppey can rotate down to take care of the top ward, and Pyladai is kind of spending most of his time in the Radiant jungle anyway, so locking down these runes is easy enough. Pyladai actually took out the 2-minute bounty rune, and that's the critical one Miracle's looking for. Like, regen, double damage, invis, while they all might be wonderful for other heroes, for the Alchemist, you're just looking for the money. And he's just unable to find it fully yet.
We should be able to bottle Crow and get this back before minute 350, so good timing on that, just getting that extra bottle efficiency. Did I say Miracle? It's Weeha. I might have said we. I'm not sure. Sometimes I get carried away.
It's fine, Sid.
It's all good. But yeah, he's going to get that bottle back before minute 4. He's kind of idling in base right now. I'm not sure if he's waiting for an item. Okay, he's got his boots as well, so needed a little bit of gold for that. And this 4-minute rune is pretty important. I imagine we should see the first blood happening at some sort of rune just because of how much emphasis both teams should be putting on it. Crit can, of course, fly over the cliffside here and contest the rune with Arctic Burn. And if Miracle joins in with his concoction, there's the possibility of a kill.
Here's that move again. OG are actually reading the fact they're going to contest for the runes, and Pylai Dai, he's got his own Radiant Observer ward, so we might see the Gyrocopter behind, but he steals the bounty rune, picks up Miracle and throws him away. Miracle is out of range for the stun, but you've still got the Rocket Barrage arriving for No Tail. He needs to get a little bit more space. Rocket Barrage again in 2 seconds time, and that'll be your first blood. Onto Pylai Dai, moves to the tree line, but he can't get to the Fog of War in time. So Notal makes a very long rotation in order to get that, but still takes the first blood.
Great play there from both teams. No-Tail making the read that he should go for that play, and at the same time, Pi, even if he knew that, I don't think he has that much regret. He stole a bounty rune away from the Alchemist. That's a lot of gold that he loses out, and of course some experience. And Weeha was left in the mid, so now he's got level 6. He's still ahead of the Alchemist on both gold and experience.
Puppey locked in with Moon inside the cogs, but Eternal Envy jumps to his rescue. Into the middle of the battery assault, and Moon getting picked off by this top lane. Very difficult to kill off a Bane when he gets so much life back from the brain sap. And Miracle's got to be really careful. He doesn't have Chemical Rage. Weeha's got Sonic Wave. And he's definitely considering throwing it out if Miracle comes in a little bit closer. He's got enough for a Blink Scream. But the Sonic Wave and Scream and Blink together, that's a little bit more difficult. And Miracle now will use Moon to refresh his bottle. So the life comes back to the Alchemist.
Yeah, can do this because Crit, of course, is standing in that top lane. They have prioritized Crit a lot in this tournament. Don't really ever sacrifice Crit's levels on this Wyvern. He needs to be a bit careful himself. This top lane, Envy being harassed. He's close to level 6 though, so this is the last bit of harassment.
He might actually die. Moon's rotating in through the riverside, looking for the Cogsburn, pushes Envy up and away. He's still got 6 times survival, and now with the Dark Pact, there's a lot of damage going to come into Moon, so Puppey can get the revenge kill here until the Cold Embrace arrives. Puppey, is it worth the nightmare? He'll probably say yes, especially when TP support's coming in from the Slaughter. This is a good hit for Misery. Good money coming his way. Of course, losing your Slark isn't the dream. But this will force a lane rotation, so Slark more than likely will just head to the bottom lane.
Great play from OG, though. I think it's totally worth it losing their Clockwork to kill the Slark like that. They force a TP. They kill him right before he gets level 6, after which this lane harassment just isn't that effective anymore when Slark of course, gets that ultimate. Interesting build here from Eternal Envy going phase boots first. I think this has got to be something that happens in like 5% of Slark games.
Miracle? Weeha as well as Puppy's right next to him. They're contesting this stack with the Chemical Rage. Weeha knows he can't find the kill. But he at least makes it very difficult for Miracle to get this huge injection of money. But he's only got a level 1 Grievel's Greed.
This reminds me of Eternal Envy's Weaver build with phase boots. I'm trying to think of any other player that would go face first on Slark, and no one comes to mind out of all the games I've seen top lane. Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Perfect crush and sprint away. And with the amplification, Moon is definitely not going to chase in. Okay, Pilot definitely just saw that ward placement go down too.
I'm wondering why he's getting the phase boots, what the advantage is. There's nothing he really needs to phase through. The attack speed is very good for stealing more stats. Oh, he's going to go on fly here, catching up nicely with the phase boots.
Yep. Well, this is the way Envy likes to play. You talk about that Weaver build with the phase boots. What Envy used to do is just dive in so deep flight. Well, actually, Shallow Grave himself up. And Envy, not 100% where he wants to go, but he'll come back down. He's got actually the Rubik to come in. Pylai die. Kill securing with a pounce away. Eternal Envy will run out to safety. But this is exactly what Envy did with the Weaver phase boots. He'll dive underneath the tier 1 tower. When you're on a Weaver, of course, you time-lapse yourself back out to safety. So with the help of the Rubik, he's able to do that with the Slark.
It is a good hero for diving just because of, even if you get counterplayed, this hero can just pounce into the trees, and over the time it takes the enemy team to find you, you might have healed 200 or 300 health. Okay, 1.48%, that's...
Miracle. What do you do?
Pretty rare.
Mango, hookshot comes down, Moon only goes on top of Miracle, but he will still lock Misery inside the cogs, and with Fly here, Misery just wants to escape. He's got Crush Off cooldown in 1 second time. He might buy the space. No, he doesn't. Miracle will find the kill. 3 heroes committed for this one. And it was actually Slaughter who stole the regeneration rune, so the bounty still goes the way of the Rubik. And they're rotating in with the smoke. So Puppy, he could start with the Nightmare, Pilot Eye, or they blink, scream, telekinesis will hold Miracle in position for now. Puppy still on the front line, actually Nightmare's on fly, so it ensures the kill. No! The Sonic Wave wakes him up from his slumber. It won't matter anyway, the Alchemist had enough regeneration. Even with the Shadow Strike, he won't drop low enough.
I actually think they would have killed Miracle if the Sonic Wave didn't hit Dazzle. This is a level 2 Nightmare, so it lasts for a whole 5 seconds, and he got woken up after 3. And they just needed one more attack on the Alchemist, but the moment he saw that it woke up the Fly Dazzle, he knew that kill wasn't going to happen, so... Sometimes it's bad that your spell got buffed a while ago and hits a better area.
Sonic Wave does have a huge radius. Snowtail battling up against Misery. Misery's got a little bit of help coming in as they trigger another Mango. This time it's going to be Moon but Puppy. Well, he's got Moon chasing him down, going for the Nightmare. Maybe not possible, as now he'll brain sap out one. Nightmare's not enough time. The call down arrives from the Gyrocopter. And Moon keeps him controlled with the Battery Assault. But that's again another hookshot being used where Moon finds a kill off the back of it. Or at least an assist.
How many times has he played Clockwork in this tournament? I feel like it's very, very few
I think
games.
Red said he only got 1 game on the Clockwork.
It's just interesting to see him just switch over to a completely different hero from what we've seen pretty much the entire tournament, and just, once again, he's making the right moves. I think one thing that really defines Moon Meander in this tournament is his game sense. He's very good at being in the right place at the right time, predicting movement from the enemy team and striking when it's necessary. In this game, he's 1-2-2. It doesn't sound that great, but considering what lane matchup he had, he's got everything he was supposed to.
Okay, I can actually answer it. He's never played Clockwork in the Frankfurt Major. Just double checked. Movement coming from Team Secret, Misery and Pylite Eye. I'd really like to get this easy kill on Crit, if you can call it easy. Pylite Eye just needs to get that telekinesis grab. They don't have the vision, and Crit Arctic burns over to the tree line, realizing that Envy's moving very aggressively forward. And TP support is arriving from OG. In fact, just no tell. This will be a proper defense coming in if they're going to commit someone like a Gyrocopter. Obviously, the tower push isn't really great from OG. At the same time, Moon's moving into position onto Weeha. Alchemist could prepare the concoction, and then you follow up with a stun.
Oh, Pounce missed!
Oh, okay. Now with the curse, Eternal Envy's going to go down.
They were not ready for that gyro. Wanted to pounce and immediately gets Winter's Curse, and actually, no matter what, Envy can't really go for that. Like, if the pounce hit,
hookshot's coming, Concoction's going to connect as well. Weeha, that TP, nothing's going to be get there in time. He's already down, and again, OG with a successful rotation. Miracle won't be so lucky. Puppy's right behind him, ready for the body block, but Misery, they'll just end up man-moding him. With that Fable from Pilot Eye, they have enough damage combining with the amplification. There's no more Brain Sap with a concoction. Miracle, just so beefy. The Chemical Rage doing work underneath the Answer Spray too. The Cold Embrace and Miracle. He's got more life with OG supports arriving. The Battery Assault won't reach up to Pilot Eye, but his Puppy Who's in trouble, running away from 3 OG heroes down the river if possible. Pilot Eye makes a break for the tree, but the Battery Assault, one more pop is there. Moon able to punch him down. Miracle stunned himself up while he was chasing after Puppy. And now with Weeha arriving to the fight, they have the amplification on the Alchemist giving good vision, but it's No-Tail. Envy arriving, the cooldown already been popped. He'll Dark packed himself in, gets a leash. No, over on Crit, not arriving in time, but Weeha's got Sonic Wave rearing to go. Needs to line up the 3 heroes, they're pretty damn low! Sonic Wave hits hard! Miracle, the Cold Embrace from Crit doing his work once again, but the damage is there from Envy. He's ticking out through the Acid Spray, but the one charge is doing its work, and now Weeha looks for his triple kill. Miracle making a break for the DD rune. Let's give him ball charges as well. Envy, the stun is there, but there's not enough damage from OG to return it hard enough. The Slark will get a pick off. Weeha will get a double kill. And OG almost have the board leveled on them as far as the kill count.
This is one thing that the Slark can do in this game that the Anti-Mage couldn't in the last. These extended engagements where Eternal Envy gets to weave in and out of the fight and just, even though a couple of the pounces don't hit, he still gets the damage out he needs and finds some very key kills.
I think the Secret fans have just found their vocal cords. The OG fans have been pretty heavy. In fact, now the war has begun. It feels like we're really creating a nice atmosphere here for our grand final as Secret and OG. They just battle heavily against each other. But it's just the calm before the storm, and the storm is coming. Puppy and Pilot die. They are smoking and moving into the dire jungle. They'll have a look and see what OG's got inside their camps. They'll notice there's 1 stack, and there is only 1 stack. But these are important things for Secret to keep tabs on. This is how the Alchemist gets out of control. Or the Gyrocopter finishes up his S and Y. Without Fiendscript, though, they can't find kills. They're moving over. They'll understand that Moon's up here. In fact, now Moon pings out the fact that he's just scattered the supports. Rockets for vision, but it's a little too shallow.
Man, look at the level advantage on the dire supports. If you look over the hero level, it's 2 very different types of strategies here where Secret on their cores are looking great, but their supports are level 4 and 5. OG supports level 7 and 8. Just the ultimates not being available for Secret yet, and them still being this close in the game is quite the feat against such an aggressive team as OG.
It's also understandable that you want to see Weeha with those levels. Hello, Hookshot going on Misery, but Pilot Eye as that Rubik, the perfect counter clockwork, throwing him out, but the concoction Misery, the Cox pushed him up. He couldn't have any reaction. And Moon able to get that pick on Sada, and again we're in this position where the Blink Dagger, it's almost the same time and the same gold on Misery, and he just gets delayed again.
I think this is the type of game with Slaughter where you might want to go for a 4-staff first simply because of the clockwork. It's an easier build-up, you will lose less gold along the way when you die like this. It's better for your teammates as well. And they have other ways of initiating. It doesn't have to be the Slaughter. They have telekinesis on Rubik, they have the Slark who can just pounce in and immediately use his ultimate and set them up that way.
And looks like Slark's going to start with the Shadow Blade too. So that'll be his initiation.
Very happy to see that. I can't remember in pro games how often it happens. I think Slark is not a Midas safe lane hero at all. And in my book, you almost always need a mobility item first. Shadow Blade or Blink. And then you can get something like an SNY. He's actually hiding. This is classic Envy stuff. Just thinking ahead. He's hiding his Shadow Blade on the courier so OG don't know he has it. And now that he clears the wave, he'll be picking it up again.
And probably moving over towards those dire ancients, or ETPs to the top lane, which was going to happen. Moon hookshots himself in, catches out Puppy again, brains up a Nightmare. The Nightmare will buy a little bit of time, but not really enough. Envy has arrived, but he's underneath the dire sentry ward, so they're aware he's there, but will it still be enough? You actually get the double crush and Sonic Wave in from Weeha, hitting so hard, but the curse is on Eternal Levy. He cannot keep attacking. There's not enough mana for his ulti either, but Weeha still with a double kill. Misery back in for another crush, and the Stolen Curse controls Crit, giving Weeha a triple kill, and Pilot dying one of his own. Now is this time. We saw it time and time again in game 1 of this series, where OG would leave one man standing, this time it's Secret, and they'll take the tier 1 tower to boot.
Beautiful play by Misery. Without an initiation item, he simply just sprints in, realizes all these key abilities that could stop him from going in have already been expended. He gets a 3-man crush. One of them is in Cold Embrace, but it doesn't matter. He hits the 2 others that he needs to, buys the time for the Queen of Pain to get in a really good position, and Weehaw with that Sonic Wave just seals the deal. That was a 4-for-1 exchange, only Puppy dying for the Radiant. I do believe he died, right? I think he died. Or was it clean 4-0?
No, I think he
died.
he died. He died. Yeah.
And a great steal from the Rubik as well. This is what I was talking about. When Secret start getting their ultimates, they'll have even more in the tank. And maybe an underrated ability in this fight or in this game so far has been the Fate Bolt. Every time Pilot Eye shows up, the OG heroes naturally just congregate together in one spot, and he hits 4 heroes with Fate Bolt. That's a really significant nuke.
Yeah. Not just the nuke as well, but making it very difficult for OG to pump out any level of damage. And they don't really have big damage. In fact, OG, they're going to go for a little bit more of security if they can finish it, of course.
He does go the 4-staff here on Slaughter. I like it.
You've also got Moon almost completing up. When Roshan dies, he'll practically have the money for his Blade Mail. The S&Y is the build coming out from No-Tail. It's going to take a while before he gets his BKB or even looks to get a big damage dealing item. Roshan will belong to OG, however. Nothing will stop that. And they put it into the hands of the Gyro. And what does Secret really get in return? They got a little bit of farm out inside the jungle, they had a little bit of pressure in tier 1 tower, but that's all for this.
Yep.
They're making a call for bottom. The observers are down now, not for the Dire side, so OG, I'm fully aware of this. Crit just instantly tries to get out of here. Moon's the one being chased, but there's that Blade Mail. The Orchid not going to have enough damage for Weehaw to kill him. And in fact, now with that big rotation from Secret to bottom lane, OG try and make the most out of the space in mid. Puppy plans, oh, he's already got the Observer Ward. In fact, Envy just pounces himself in. He's still got his ulti, but he understands that life is the easy commodity for him. He can just disappear, regenerate back up again. The fortification, it all bought time for Misery to rotate over. Can he use his 4-staff? Will he even want to? They've already lost the tier 1 tower. Envy's hunting for an opening, but there's nothing to be gained.
Yeah, he needs more items, I think, before he can make an as confident play as this one. Of course, what he wants to do is try to just jump in and get a couple of attacks off, steal some stats with the Essence Shift, reset and re-go. Currently, Essence Shift is only level 2, so it's only a 30-second steal and can't really carry it through later on. Just a couple more levels on Envy will make a big difference. And I'm curious to see which item build he goes for here. Slark is one of those heroes that has multiple options. Sometimes you see a Scotty, sometimes Sanjin Yasha, sometimes straight BKB, sometimes Yasha BKB. Yes, behind enemy lines here.
There they are. Misery finding one of them. In fact, it's going to be the Moon. Clockwork. He's got hookshot available. Hookshot's up to Weehaw. Blink is still out. And now allowed to escape. And once again, Parday, the perfect controller. Eternal Envy cursed up. Can he get this ulti off? Will they kill him? There goes your ulti and Envy. He just wants to get out of the TP, but the cogs pushes him down. He'll pounce, but he's just in the middle of the entire OG lineup. So Puppy and Envy find themselves pushing up the daisies, as OG will move this momentum now down to the bottom lane and towards that tier 1 tower.
Pilot Eye will be doing what he can in the top lane split pushing, but can't really get anything out of this Moon already. Sending some rockets top. One of the big benefits of Clockwork is, of course, his ability to defend from across the map. And it's not the greatest ability, but everything adds up. And OG with another big fight for them. They will be claiming this tower for sure.
Really good money coming their way too now. With the depth of the tower, they'll push a 3k advantage. But Secret, they try and keep it level. So it will be a tier 1 for a tier 1 fly. He could potentially go for the deny here, but already Queen of Pain has taken it. So it will be a tower for a tower. As Moon hookshot 5 seconds. The Secret won't wait around that long.
And his Blade Mail is really, really good right now. Secret have so much burst, but the heroes that have that damage have relatively low health. Both the Slark and the Queen of Pain will, to a large extent, just kill themselves off. And if you look over OG's lineup, I think BKB in this game is just such a good item that both Queen of Pain and Slark should consider it as their secondary item.
I'm not sure if you really want to do this. Starts on the Orchid and Alchemist and actually blinks away from the hookshot of Moon.
That could have gone really, really wrong for him. Actually, there was no Winter's Curse. I think he would have been fine. Crit was pretty much as far away as he could be.
Total Envy, pounce down. He can't get the leash over on Crit. but the
great
anti-burn will
back
wear
sense.
off, and Crit's in almost exactly the same position as previous.
He built his dragon pin again. This time he gets out though. And they counter with the Observer. Of course, this is one of the benefits of Slark that I think we don't talk about too much, also because we don't see Slark that often. He's very good at finding wards. You just notice that you're losing movement speed and it means the enemy has wards in the area. And Secret obviously reading that and placing a sentry close to their tier 2 tower bottom and clearing that up.
I'm wondering if that then means OG go for a little bit more defensive wards. Because at this moment, they've only got 2 wards on the field. In fact, one of them just timed out. So they've only got that 1 aggressive ward inside the Radiant jungle. And they may want to have it up on top lane, because Notel, he's coming up behind Weeha. And Misery, well, he was there, but with the Clockwork Rocket, there's no hookshot available, so it's a simple blink away to safety. But now Team Secret understand where the fight's coming. And Eternal Envy does not want to take it, though. He's forcing at the bottom lane. Crit, with a Splinter Blast, can actually drag the creep wave back and actually kill a fair chunk of it off. So it ends up being a tower going the way of OG, but not enough momentum able to be sustained from Secret on that bot lane. But they're waiting for OG to move back. Puppey sitting on the tree line, but Miracle, he TP's in, knows that he's there, and then they use the weave. Hits both Wee as well as Puppey, allowing Miracle to blink Concoction stun over to Puppey. He doesn't have the Nightmare timing, not when Dazzle arrives with that heal. So Puppey will end up dropping, and the trap is sprung.
And it looks like Eternal Envy's choice will be the Scotty. Aegis now expiring for OG. Pretty long respawn, 5 minutes. Secret are gonna like that, of course, as OG has the dire advantage and a good Roshan lineup. It's not like Secret's is bad with amp damage and everything, but I just got a feeling with OG, the map control they're getting, that this next Roshan would be theirs. Having these extra few minutes for Secret could make a big difference. I want to point out how much better Weeha is doing in this game than the previous one. I think that's one of the fundamental differences where he can actually start becoming a really important core in this game, building for the Aghanim Scepter just to essentially be able to fight more frequently, defend towers, buy time for the Slark to get big.
And Secret making a wise choice now, avoiding the fight against OG. Crit with a fresh Blink Dagger. It's actually sitting on the Courier right now, just north of the Roche Pit, and it's coming down finally, delivering that point booster over the moon. But with this now, Wyvern can keep a very large distance from the jumping heroes like Slark, like Slaughter, like Queen of Pain. Get that perfect counter curse.
Yeah, Miracle's getting really, really rich this game. As I mentioned, Slark is a pretty good counter pick and they have amp damage, so even if this Alchemist gets really big, Secret will have the tools, but Miracle is getting very far ahead, as he should on the Alchemist this game. And I would imagine we're going to see perhaps an AC next for him. Would be a good choice. Can, of course, try to go more of a combat build with the Sanjin Yasha and just go straight in for a Basher, knowing that he has the Blink, try for an Abyssal Blade. And it's going to be Shadow Blade, actually. We'll be going for...
They're prepping for top right
Silver
now.
Edge.
No tell. Well, you can still have your fun on bottom lane, but it's the top lane where the initiation is. 4-star forward to the crush with a Sonic Wave. That Orchid Popper won't be enough, but we are 6 around just long enough to get the hit. Blinks himself away to safety. And OG, they won't find an opening. Miracle, well, he just sees the end of the Puppey TP. So with the Observer Ward down, Secret can make all the right choices to get out of here.
And this is what you want to do if you're Secret. It's avoiding these 5-on-5 engagements and just forcing small skirmishes and split pushing. I'm not sure how big of a difference this Slark... Of course he's a difference from the last game compared to an AM. It's definitely not the same game. But the way Secret are playing right now, I feel like they learned a lot from game one. Nice hook shot.
Predicts where Envy was going. They had a little bit of extra vision because of the sentry wall that was on the lane. But again, Pylai die. Okay, they'll commit the curse. They want this Rubik down, but Pylai die with stick charges. He'll move into the tree line, Crit blinks himself forward, and Pylai die will Fade Bolt, remove a little bit of the damage, but still ends up dying. Okay, I'm starting to wonder what's going to happen here with OG. They move around, even killing off someone. Okay, Envy, he wants Crit. There's no curse. The Blink actually takes Crit down. Again, Envy walking underneath that sentry ward didn't learn the lesson from the last attack that Crit did. And now, with no ulti, Moon is closing the distance, but not fast enough. Yeah, but get back to the question. How does OG actually kill off the Slark when they catch him out, once he gets bigger? Originally, I was thinking that Ultimate Orb could have been turning into something like a Skadi and give Slark a lot of life early on. But in fact, it's going to be a Lincoln Spear coming in for the Slark. So now you don't even have that instant control onto the Slark. How do OG deal with him?
It's a good question. If Miracle goes for an Abyssal Blade, he can sacrifice a Concoction for an Abyssal or vice versa, but I don't think it's enough.
Speaking of concoction, it's going to be a stun on a puppy. It's a Shadow Blade, in fact, the build coming out from Miracle is his next item.
Goodbye. Puppy's very far behind in this game. He's been sacrificed a lot. He has found some levels, at least he's level 8. And all it takes for the Bane to have a big impact in this game is good Nightmare and maybe a half-channeled Fiend Script on a key target, just buying Slark the needed time. And don't underestimate Enfeeble. I think maxing out Enfeeble will make it very difficult for OG to see high ground.
Easy hook shot. Pushing Pilot Eye a little bit further back. He's got the pick up over on Crit, but Moon with the blade mail up, there's no way he can fight. Pilot Eye sitting in the trees for as long as possible. Supports arrive with Miracle getting the stun over on Misery. He'll go down as well, and Weeha can't stop Secret. They've committed too much. Envy might be in this fight, but he's not doing enough work. So you get the buyback out from Pilot Eye. They need his control in this engagement, but OG, they've kind of already won. They've burned through the Queen of Pain and Puppy with a Splinter Blast. Actually, with a concoction as well. He can't do enough. He'll end up dying. Pilot die. Here's your dieback. 4 heroes down from Team Secret. Eternal Envy just basically cuts his losses, aka the rest of the Secret team.
5,000 gold swing plus a tower.
They can get more than this. There's no buybacks apart from the Slaughter. He respawns in 10 seconds. OG might even be able to take the tier 3 tower.
And all of that is just offset by the blink positioning from Weeha. He basically blinks into the enemy team and is in a position where he can't. He was like searching for the Sonic Wave angle and it just didn't exist. And then he got cursed next to the Slark, who just killed off his own teammate very
ready
quickly.
to fight. Envy jumping on No-Tail, trying to distract him. Misery is coming in too, but that defensive Wee's going to give a lot of armor. And Envy, he can't pounce himself out of here. 17 one-shots might be available. Now he'll get the pounce out. And Slaughter starts himself forward. Gets a son of Miracle, but the damage, the tier 3 tower is down. Rubik's back up in 8 seconds time. Weeha has the Sonic Wave as that rocket doesn't get the kill, but they get the Fiend Script. Clockwork, that Fiend Script is up. Concoction arrives from Miracle. Weeha still waiting on this Sonic Wave. Misery forward, gets a big crush, and there's your Sonic Wave, taking out the Alchemist. No-Tail control with the amplification. The only thing keeping alive is a Shallow Grave. Have they got a stun? No, they don't, but they'll find the kill on Moon, but actually, well, there's your push forward. Fly will drop as well. And very lucky that No-Tail was able to survive with this. Crit's also on the run out. But Secret, they successfully defended, cost them the buyback on the Rubik previously. And all they lose their tier 3. Yeah, they need this.
They're rushing to the Roche Pit. OG know it's happening because of that dominated creep, and else they could just read it out of the map movements. But I don't think they have the tools to fight this. Even with a buyback on the Alchemist,
they need the
Clockwork Rocket to find the engaged timing.
Why is this Dark Creep Wave following them in? Aggro, please. We are. Well, I suppose it's easy money for him. But now Roshan taken. The Aegis Immortal will be the hands of Envy. That followed them all the way from the bottom lane. I thought these things are meant to lose aggro after a while.
And if OG could have found a way of disengaging from that incredible fight they took and the tier 3, they would have almost had this game in the bag. It would have been a 10,000 gold lead. At Roshan, they could have claimed shortly after.
They move with Puppy. They move instantly up. They'll need the Fiend Script instantly to stop that Moon Blade Mail. But then again, maybe Envy. He's actually killing himself right now. No pounds away. He's got the Aegis Immortal. Miracle looking for the stun. The concoction flies forward, but Lincoln Sphere will end up stopping that stun from Miracle engaging. The TP out in top lane will help at least one survive. But it will not help Crit. He goes down. The Clockwork Rocket getting a little bit more vision over on Envy. How long until Secret also start thinking about buying a gem themselves? Envy keeps fighting underneath sentry wards. But then again, OG are also burning a lot of money buying these sentries. And okay, the gem does come now from OG on the Wyvern. Not from Secret.
By the way, building for what should be... Is this a refresher?
He was trying to build refresher in game 1, so I'm assuming he'll be a refresher here in game 2.
Is there? I think Lotus Orb is a really good item too against Secret's lineup. Removing amplify damage, preventing Bane from casting Fiend Script, preventing Bane from casting a good Nightmare without sleeping himself. Can remove the Orchid from the Queen of Pain. It's just an incredibly good pickup here that I'm not so sure it's a refresher. He's also, his mana pool isn't that great just yet with only Tranquils. So if he casts just a couple of abilities, he can't even get 2 curses off anyway. I'm curious to see where Crit goes with this. There's the Aghanim Scepter now for Weeha. He did go for a pit stop on the way to get that BKB. I think Secret are feeling like they're in a pretty good position in this game. Even though they're behind on gold, the game plan this time around is at least advancing and they're not getting rolled over.
It's a lot more comfortable for these heroes to play. Like having Lincoln Sphere over on the Slark, it's that extra life. Like Envy was underneath the tier 3 tower bearing down almost all the OG heroes, and he's still able to survive. This just shows you that lack of control, which is why I'm wondering, like, yeah, Lotus Orb's great to reflect and great to dispel, but maybe they need to have that second curse from the Wyvern just to ensure they got that lockdown control on Team Secret. Either way, we'll see what he does soon.
Oh, Puppy.
Jumping forward, Puppy, what does he want to do right now? Well, he can't Nightmare, they force off him out. Rocket's chasing in Misery with a double crush. Puppy does get healed up. There's the Nightmare protection, breaks free pretty quickly, but Miracle already moving forward. Gets to some concoction, being prepared by Pylai Dai, about to be returned over, but to who? Actually starting Miracle underneath that Radiant Sentry. The cooldown's arriving, but Misery dying so quickly. At least Weeha finds something. No, he doesn't. Crit gets that cold embrace off, and now with the curse, they hold Weeha in position. The BKB protected from the magical damage, and he blinks into the tree line. They don't see him. Now they do. The TP cancelled with the death of the Queen of Pain. And 3 heroes lost for Team Secret. Tier 2 tower might be down, but OG, another fight their way.
Puppy wanted to deward that ward so bad, and he ends up paying himself and 2 extra lives for it. Kind of surprising they don't send Rubik to do it. The extra range and the fact that Rubik has his own Force Staff would allow him to pretty easily disengage, but they, of course, want to remove this vision so badly, as getting rid of that ward would have just secured the enemy jungle for quite a while, just for Eternal Envy to farm. Since he has the Aegis and the Lincolns, he can just farm all the camps. If OG advance onto him, he can immediately just pop his ultimate and run away with Shadowblade as well. OG they get such a small time interval to make that play. They engage in between the 2 attacks of Puppy on that ward. They have like 5 seconds to make the call, and they just go in on it immediately. They're very confident.
They should be even more confident. The Assault Cuirass aura now gained by the Alchemist, so OG, their team fight's becoming stronger, not to mention the Aghanim Scepter on the Clockworkers. Never-ending jumps. Speaking of that, Envy initiating onto No-Tail. The Crush will be there as Misery blinks himself forward, but that cold embrace keeps the Gyro alive again. Slug burns through this Lincoln Sphere and he pounces down towards the supports of OG, killing on 5 with a shallow grave, spoiling the fun. Misery's waiting until the right time. Pylai forces himself out of these cogs, and there's your Crush. The right time is now. The Sonic Wave connects on Crit Fly, will end up dying. A double kill for Weeha. He keeps the battle going as another telekinesis grab, tries to throw Miracle down to the river, not gonna be enough. This Puppy hookshot down by Moon. He's actually ticking outside the S spray. The concoction will ensure the kill. Maybe not. Puppy. Nightmare denies himself in front of OG's lineup, and the battle continues. Miracle all good for now. This chemical rage gonna wear off in just a second, and Envy, the sustain is unbelievable, especially when he's got a secondary life. Miracle on that front line. They got the gem on Weeha. It was stolen from OG, and now it's gonna be used to kill off Miracle underneath his own acid spray. Down he goes. 70 seconds on the sideline. No buyback available. Where's that hook?
Oh, wow.
The play! The gem take as well! Caesar retreating Weeha and hits a smack straight plumb between the eyes of Weeha.
I was about to say that was actually a fight OG should be pretty happy with, because they got rid of the Aegis, they saved their gyrocopter. Eternal Envy missing the pounce on the gyro by an inch there is the difference between life or death for No-Tail. He gets out, and then after getting that gem returned to their base, easily a good fight for OG. And now getting rid of the Aegis should give them a lot more strength going forward. Of course, in the previous fights, they don't really want to focus Envy, knowing that the second life is such a big problem.
It's going to be harder
really lock him down.
Well, it's going to be harder because he's now completing up his full Skadi.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a big stat gain right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, Envy sustain, even without the Aegis, the Immortal was still pretty heavy. But OG, they 5-man smoke. They see Puppy. That's an easy hookshot kill. They worry about who else is around, and in fact, Eternal Envy just running his way up mid. He's here for the creep wave, but he might. Oh, if OG can find that range. He moves deeper and deeper to the dire side, and Moon, there's your hookshot up, and Envy instantly starts the Dark Pact. The cogs won't lock him down. Moon could go for he can't go for the hook. Yep, the crush, catching out the gyrocopter. Even to a point where now you're starting to enfeeble up the gyro just to restrict his damage, and he still doesn't have a damage-dealing item. OG's DPS is not hitting. Same with that hook shot. And Secret smoke. They're coming. They're trying to turn around.
They were spotted by a ward, though.
They're moving forward. Envy, he sees the clockwork. The cogs come up and pushes Envy back as well as Weeha. With the pounce forward, Envy getting close to hookshot. He'll actually get himself away towards No-Tail with a pickup with Fiend's Grip. Puppy, is there a stun control? The BKBs come with a call-out. The Sonic Wave hits hard with Queen of Pain already grabbing one Puppy. Nightmare in the Alchemist. He's taken out this fight, so is Moon, but with the safety of a TP back to his own fountain. The concoction again being stolen. return to the gyro. Stark finds a kill in the bash, catching Miracle out. Can he retreat with the wave? No, he cannot. Envy will grab a double kill. No Alchemist for 70 seconds. This Team Secret will push down the mid lane. The ping came out saying, does someone want to grab that T1 tower in the bottom lane too? But really, if they can force a buyback, this is going to be a very costly fight for OG.
This Slark pick is proving to be such a good solution to the way OG want to play the fights. He's an initiator, he has good burst damage on the opening, he deals damage through Cold Embrace with 2 of his abilities, and the way OG win a lot of their fights in the games we've seen so far is just by drawing them out, keeping their heroes alive with Shallow Grave and with heals, and ultimately just draining the enemy team. But you know what? Slark heals faster than your 2 supports do, so Envy is not scared of committing and just going in and out of the fight like that. He just needs 5 seconds in the shadows, coming back in with full health again, dealing so much damage when the fights extend.
This gyro buyout, it cost him so much. The fact he's also holding onto a quarterstaff no-tail, it's like if this is going to be a butterfly for him, at the rate that Envy, with the amount of money he gets from the fight, if he does get a Monkey King bar, yet what is the gyro, his main defensive factor, isn't there anymore. And there's still so much nuke damage from Team Secret. Queen of Pain could be looking at her own Shiva's guard. Maybe this is also, like, would you even go for the Shivas, or would you look towards the Assault Cuirass? Try and counter the aura OG are already adding with both Acid Spray and their own AC.
If you go AC, your Slardar will probably get the Shivas later on. Usually you let Slardar get the AC as his item after the BKB, but Misery is still pretty low on farm in this game, sitting below 10k net worth at the 40-minute mark almost. So I think you put the AC onto Weeha just to boost up the damage of Envy. Both items are really good though.
Here comes OG. They might be really sad about the timing unless they get the kill. Puppey walking up the lane, but they see a better target.
Hook shot blocked.
No! The missed hook shot allows Envy to pounce away up the hillside. Roshan's only just spawned up, and in fact Envy buys a BKB. So OG blow their smoke. They do have another one still in stock, but they'll move over and discover that Roshan is now up. And they'll have to be quick about this.
And now they can't curse Envy anymore. It's the only BKB piercing ultimate that it would break a Linken's. Hookshot will of course stun him up, but not remove the Linken. So as long as Envy's in BKB with Linken's Sphere ready, he can feel so confident just going in on any target he wants, knowing there's no counterplay. But
Wow, that didn't take long.
Alchemist is pretty good at rushing. Secret
abating. This is one of the most obvious traps. The only thing missing right now is a Techie's Mind Flag.
I'm happy we don't see that hero anymore.
I am sad. Envy, moving forward. OG are fairly well split at the moment, but they're still close enough that they can lend that support. In fact, Slark, he's looking for the opening and he found it. It's going to be the Alchemist. Can they get the cross? The hook shot from Moon might buy the space for Alchemist, combining with the Cold Embrace for Puppey. A full control on Cred. He can't get the curse up because the Fiend's grip. Now he can because of the Shallow Grave. And Eternal Envy inside the ult. He needs to get out of here. The BKB is going to expend pounds of cooldown in 1 second time, but they get the curse. Envy locked and Secret just now playing Left 4 Dead, but maybe not. Moon, the hook shot catching Weeha. Blink in 1 second. He's got the time. The concoction's being prepared. Miracle needs more space, and he got the vision. Weeha gets hit. The support's right behind, and he'll go down. No! The blink! He's still on the run. The homing missile on his tail, but the hook shot from Moon! Well off target. The Miracle with a jump forward. They have to kill the rocket. Weeha could die to this one, and actually the nightmare. Puppey protects him. If they can't kill it, they'll just leap through it. You've still got Eternal Envy on the side, no G. Now it's their turn to knock on the mid lane.
40 seconds on the Slark. Exposed barracks in the bottom lane since a very long time ago. And OG, they still have the Aegis. They're not scared of forcing this.
Weeha does have the Sonic Wave, however. So they enfeeble over on the Jar. You might want to think about enfeebling Miracle. He's doing so much damage at the moment. What's Pilot Eye going to get? Okay, Arctic Burn, not so terrific. But that bottom rag, Secret will just let it go. They can't defend it. They can't get exit kills. They can just get the amplification and watch where they move out. They have to let it go. Great fight for OG, even if they do miss a couple of the chase kills. And it is actually going to be the refresher orb for the Wyvern. Best second Perseverance has been purchased. So amazing as well. That Shallow Grave from Fly, it just bought enough time. Secret spent so much to try and kill off that Wyvern, and it just wasn't even successful.
It was absolutely perfect timing, and that Grave was the only reason OG stood a fighting chance there. If Wyvern dies, they don't have the follow-up curse that kills Envy in the end. they can just advance into the fight knowing that Envy can keep just dealing damage onto the Alchemist. He doesn't even need to kill him, he just needs to hit the heroes enough times so that toward the end of the fight he will be able to kill them off almost on his own with all the stats stolen. That shallow grave from Fly, he's just made so many of those graves all tournament. Extremely clutch, has to read the timing on the Sonic Wave. It's one of those abilities that you would usually say is actually pretty good against Shallow Grave. It's a big burst that comes out of nowhere for 500 damage, but Fly is just ready for it every single time.
And OG, they've got so many different ways to dispel everything, even the attacks. Like a fresh Yule Scepter over on Moon, they'll have that for the next fight. The Butterfly has to be completed by No Tail. And because Eternal Envy went for the BKB, this Monkey King bar is being delayed even more. So they don't have that direct damage into the Gyrocopter. But as we also saw, Miracle's pumping out a hell of a lot. He triggers that Chemical Rage, and he's quite a scary force to go up against.
And he's got a lot of money too. I'm curious what Miracle will be buying here. Could finish the Silver Edge. I don't know how valuable that is here. Not really very much. So we could be seeing something like, there's a possibility of a BKB, if he wants to go that route, or Abyssal Blade.
You'd have to drop something for it. Like, you'd have to actually drop his initiation of the Shadow Blade.
Or the Blink.
Or the Blink. Miracle running down. There's a sentry ward up on top of that hillside. OG have no vision there until now. But if they de-ward it, they reveal their position.
I'm wondering if this BKB choice from Envy was a mistake. I think he was doing so well without it. In terms of his control in the fights, just having Linken's and Dark Pact, you already have so many defensive tools and the Shadow Dance, and then you also buy a defensive item in the BKB. He could have had a damage item, and I think they need to be able to kill off the targets maybe a bit faster at this rate.
OG are preparing for their attack. Crit's close enough that the gem will reveal the Slark if he decides to Shadow Blade himself forward. And now all out for the pounce. In fact, yep, there it is. Envy showing himself as Secret. They're looking the wrong way. They're looking to the top lane, but Moon! He couldn't actually get the hookshot line. That range creep was blocking him.
Yeah, he had to wait, but I think Eternal Envy was running a top anyway, so it wasn't going to happen. And you could say, oh, that kind of blew the surprise from OG, but Secret knew they were there.
Yeah. Secret were avoiding every other place in the map. So they moved up to the top lane. Envy was pushing out the bottom lane a fair way. And now, looks like OG going to rotate themselves down. They can't really achieve anything more on this bottom lane.
Maximal Roche respawn by about 5 seconds off. This is 10 minutes and 54. Good news for Secret, which they don't know.
It's the farm time.
Yep.
And what's the critical items they're looking for? Because I'm still looking at a large amount of money over on Weeha. It looks like he is going to be building the Shiva's Guard, but do you take the risk and buy that and sacrifice your buyback? Is the Shiva's going to bring enough to the engagement to warrant it?
I don't think so. I think the buyback is more important for now. I'm still a bit surprised he didn't go for the AC, in my opinion.
Actually, it won't take that long. Like, he's only got another 600 gold, and he's got it. Because then he'll have surplus enough for, like, to buy it and have buyback.
Yep.
It's not
very much reliable gold on him right now with a 2400.
OG are starting to flatline here. They spent so much time waiting for Team Secret to arrive. Like, yes, they had a 12,000 advantage. They almost lost all of it in gold. And now it's just starting to flatline around 11k. The experience, there's nothing in between these two teams. And really, when it comes down to the fight, there's not that much that's also separating them. It's all about that initiation. If OG can get a good curse off, and how much space is Eternal Envy able to get away from the curse of Crit?
Moonshard on Miracle. Prioritizing that over giving Ags to Dazzle. I think the 60 attack speed on him will do more. And of course Clockwork bought his own, so he doesn't need one. The one on Gyro is pretty awful with how this game is being played in general right now.
Yeah, I don't think it needs
it's also not good.
Like if we turn it into just a split push, maybe then the global cooldown could be useful.
But Secret's lineup isn't that good at split pushing that it's going to be very valuable. Of course it does give stats too, so
true.
Once Miracle is completely maxed out and just swimming in gold, then he could start giving it to No Tail as well, but he's probably last on the list of gold to be spent here.
Okay, how does Team Secret do this? The Observer Ward, if they... Okay, they use Envy again as bait. Moon moves forward, they trigger the Lincoln Sphere already, and the Force Up actually pushing Envy back down. The Refresher Orb curse is still available for Crit. But OG, Miracle's actually going to stun himself up. He's already burnt this Chemical Rage. The Secret don't want to fight this. Yeah, the curse one is down, but there's no reason to engage. They're still buying the time. In fact, now Moon moves himself forward. Cogs will push Misery back out, locking Envy in here, but then Moon tries to run out. Misery 4-stars forward, but the defensive heal center from Moon buys him the space. Misery has to trigger BKB. Get away from the rest of OG.
And Moon was really far ahead of his team there, but that dual scepter usage probably just kept him alive. I'm saying that, and his team were coming in.
Careful
so.
with the run, that gem is still there. Lincoln Spear's going to trigger. Envy still got the ulti available, and well, does he have enough? Moon with the hookshot forward, but Envy just runs himself out with the Shadow Dance going to work. They get the curse over on Weeha, and that Queen of Pain is down. 80 seconds on the sideline, buyback is available. As OG, is this enough of an opening for them? What do we got? Flat cannon for Pilot Eye, that's not what he wants.
The problem for Weeha in this game of the Queen of Pain is that he needs to time his spells so well to not make them
Miracle
useless.
He's coming in.
The AoE heal.
Concoction, he wants to go on Misery. Okay, no, he does not. Moon's leaving. I thought maybe with the hookshot 4 they could go for something, but looks like OG will not be able to punish that death.
They want to control the map until Roche spawns. They don't know the spawn timer is long, but he could start spawning now. They have ancient stacks for no tail to farm here. There's the Basher, now coming up for Miracle.
So does he sell the Shadow Blade for this? And just keep the Blink Dagger? Yes, he does.
I think it's the right choice as well.
He's getting so much money. Having that full Abyssal may not be that far off. Obviously, because he's an alchemist.
And the goldest lead is still 10,000. What you need to keep in mind is, of course, Alchemist will always have really high net worth, but his value relative to the gold is not as high as other heroes. And you're saying that, and you've looked at Miracle in this game and how much he's done. But when you do get to that super late game scenario, other heroes just tend to take over, such as the Slark. And Queen of Pain will buy the Shivas with the buyback, as we talked about. Slark sitting on 4,000. Very curious what we see out of Envy. I think Abyssal Blade has to be the choice here.
Really? You
Or
don't think
Butterfly.
You don't think the Monkey King bug? Because he's still going to attack directly into that Butterfly of No Tail.
It's actually true. Never mind. Yeah, both the enemy cores do have evasion. It's not just the Gyro, but Miracle also with the evasion from the Solar Crest. Yeah, MKB is probably better than Abyssal in this case.
Envy loops around. Okay, yeah, there's some pings. OG are aware of this. The hook shot actually being used by Moon defensively, as well as Cogs really worried that Slark is just stalking them. And they'll move over into the pit. Now, there's just a couple of dead golems that are sitting here. Envy will mop that up, as well as killing off the Soul Ring and TP. It's a little bit of spring cleaning for the Slark. As OG, are you going to hook shot? Well, he is, but No Tail's butt was in the way.
Yeah, thankfully. I think Nota is starting to block Moon on purpose just so he doesn't jump 2,000 range away from his team. But of course, Moon can play with so much confidence because of the Yules. I think it's a really intelligent pickup here, just allowing him to buy so much time that he doesn't need a Force Staff. He needs to hookshot in. The 2.5 seconds of self-Yules is enough for his teammates to reach him with Cold Embrace and Grave.
10 seconds till Roshan. The teams have waited so long. Envy keeps scouting out by Shadow Blading in. You just saw as well the Arctic Burn being triggered by Crid to get the vision inside. And there's still a lot of buybacks. And with the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane, OG's got a way that they can get the rest of their team down there. Alchemist, Clockwork, as well as the Dazzle, all have buybacks. Even Wyve is just shy of 350. Now they jump forward. And Lincoln Spear's going to trigger once they get on Envy. In fact, it doesn't actually help out Puppey. Envy ends up getting him stumped at the jump forward. They go on Miracle. Is there enough control to actually get out? But Envy goes in, a long way in. And Puppey, what's he got? He nightmares over on the Dazzle. There's no shot like Great Fiend script on the Wyve. And the perfect control from the Bane. They bring down one. And with the pounds forward, Envy wants to kill on apply. He won't take it, however, not unless they got a stun. And Envy and Weeha under the cooldown. Hook shot from Moon. Again bumping at the back of No Tail. But the Alchemist. Well, okay, that's one way to do it. A double kill coming his way. And Weeha, the TP out successful. The hook shot too late from Moon. Actually think he's in the tree line instead. So they can go in now, OG, and take out Roshan.
I'm wondering if Secret want to try to expend a buyback for this. Looks like no.
It'll be dangerous, considering how quick OG killed off Roshan before.
And I thought that was going to be a really good fight for Secret. So they Force Staff out, they save the Slark from the first curse, and I think the second curse never went off because of the Sonic Wave. They pounce in on the Dazzle, force him to self-grave, so all of these cooldowns are used. And then Envy just really got confused in that tree line. I think he got blocked by creeps with phase boots on cooldown, couldn't really find the pounce angle he was looking for. And they barely killed him off there with the Alchemist, who now has an Abyssal Blade.
He does.
He just again onto the Gyro, and now the Cheese in Moon's inventory, as if he didn't have enough defensive tools already. There's a secondary way of staying alive, and this is really, really difficult for Secret. 30 seconds might be too long. They perhaps have to buy back the Slark, and Envy desperately needs another item. He's not really progressing very much.
They have Sonic Wave off cooldown in 1 second time, so they can get rid of the creep wave, and this is where the Ags from Weeha can work, but if he comes in range...
They need it for the fight.
They do. They really do, but... Fortification, they've got enough time. 7 seconds until Envy's up, and OG, they're not going to give Secret the opportunity to fight. They take the tower and they back out. They can move to other objectives. That last remaining outer tower, that bottom lane's already going to cause enough problems for Team Secret. That's like 3 waves coming their way.
And I think the next big item to look out for Secret, apart from Envy's, has got to be a Refresher Orb on Weeha. They need these double Sonic Waves, double Shiva's Guard damage, double Orchid as well. If he can time that so he can Orchid both the Dazzle and the Wyvern. Dazzle can remove his own with the Guardian Greaves, so maybe not that useful.
They still kind of need Poppy to do that
difficult.
work, but Poppy's got no maneuverability items either. You look at this Bane 52 minutes into the game. You've got Tranquil's Wand, a Null, and a Medallion. This is all Poppy's got. He has been so ripped apart, net worth wise. He's only got 4.6k in 52 minutes. But he's had no choice. They've had to pump more money and more value into their other cores. As OG now wait for the perfect time to pounce. Eternal Envy, Hookshot Moon. Tries once again, Misery. Gonna get the amplification off, but Yule Scepter will dispel that. And OG just dragged the creep waves over. That's a nice little steal to come the way of the Rubik. Pilot Eye now with Acid Spray, making it even more difficult for OG to get up and into the Team Secret base.
And something interesting to see about the way OG play these two supports as well is we're talking a lot. Oh wait, maybe it's not time for that right now.
Amplification just goes on No-Tail with the Enfeebled as well. He deals very little damage, but he's still chipping away at the melee ranks, and Secret do not want to initiate. They understand that Moon can hookshot. Hilariously enough, Moon is blocked by almost everything. Now he moves into a better position for a hook.
You Enfeeble.
They're just baiting. They're baiting with the Aegis Satanic Hero.
The Satanic is not going to heal that much when you're enfeebled, but slow and steady. No-Tail will be bringing down the tower, and Secret have to start making some sort of play. They've bought something on Envy. What is it? He's sending the courier. It's the MKB. He's going to go all in. He'll buy up, not have buyback, and I think it's the right choice. It has to reach its destination.
Like, it's got to go around the creep wave that's up there, and by the time that happens, they've already lost their mid-racks. The top lane will come next, and there it is, the full Monkey King bar on the courier. As OG now moved to the top lane. Courier, how good are you? Can you get back home safe? Hug the wall, hug the wall. There it is. It's back. So the Monkey King bar is up. And this is it from Secret. There's no hiding inside the fountain this time around. They have to defend against OG. And the initiation starts over on No-Tail. But Envy copping a lot of damage already. The double acid sprays down, one from Rubik, one from the Alchemist. And without that Lincoln Sphere, Slark feeling very, very fragile. It's Weeha's able to push out. He actually picks up a a Maelstrom. To try and just counter-push this OG lineup.
Secret need to find an initiation angle. That's not straight from the front, I
They
think.
go on No-Tail, the mini bashes are kicking in. Remember, he's still got the Aegis, the Immortal. And Envy keeps having this Lincoln Sphere triggered. OG just waiting this time out. They've still got another 50 seconds left on the Aegis.
Big problem for Secret here is that they don't have a smoke. They
There's
would
a
love
jump.
to flank, but they can't.
Leash again. They keep going for the stuns. Eternal Envy. He actually keeps these stuns going, but No-Tail, he's happy if the Aegis pops at this point. It wasn't a heavy committal coming out from Team Secret, but with the curse, they actually trap the Slug. Force-Off trying to push him around. We are from behind. The Sonic Wave Crit can't get the second curse off, and with the extra attack from Misery, he's keeping flying out of this battle, and Envy, he can attack directly to the Gyrocopter. No-Tail, he's down. He can't live. Misery with a double crush, keeps flying as well as Moon here for the moment. That Alchemist, though, he's a bigger target. Nightmare up, goes for the concoction. Envy's still got his Lincoln Sphere up, and Weeha will grab the double kill. There's still a heavy amount of damage that's been done to the Secret base. They've lost mid, they've lost bottom, but they've shown they can fight against OG. But is the damage too extensive?
So important in that fight that it lasts as long as it does. Envy, with these 2-minute steals on Essence Shift, ends up the fight with a bonus 100 agility. No wonder he's able to kill off the Gyro at the end. And you said No-Tail was happy to give away the Aegis. I don't think he was considering how much damage he was giving over to Envy.
You might be right. And now OG. Like, there's no Alchemist and no Gyre for 50 seconds. This is a perfect time for Team Secret to regain control of this map. The Maelstrom's even looking better for him now. Forcing out the lanes, having something where he can do that. You're getting more survivability on Pylai. This guy's walking around with Assange. He's already got the 4-star, but he's looking for more survivability. With 2.6k gold also on the Rubik after that engagement. What else are we looking for? Envy, he's up to 2.8k. Slaughter has his full BKB with extra money, so the buybacks are available with a 20 gold surplus. Finally, Puppey buys a new item. He has a Solar Crest. He has something of real value for Team Secret.
That's really good against the Dire lineup. They don't have any MKBs on either core, and this keeps Slark alive. And I want to point out how crazy that fight actually was for Secret. For Eternal Envy to be cool enough to stay there and bait the whole enemy team in, if he dies, it's over. So he has to play it on the edge, but they executed it so that Envy was floating around 20% health, got out of the fight, stole a lot of agility, came back in, and key cooldowns for OG had been used already. Mainly the first Winter's Curse, of course the Shallow Grave as well.
Now with this BKB timing getting even lower, like Pylai can sit in the back lines and then just kick in. In fact, without a BKB on the Alchemist, he can just disarm the Alchemist when he runs forward because he's got a Heaven's Halberd now fully completed on the Rubik.
That's a very big item too.
Keeps him alive even longer in the fights. He's getting good steals. And we're starting to see the problem as well of a Wyvern going in for the Refresher Orb. There's not a lot of life over on Crit. So the control time that Secret need to kill him off isn't really that much. And they keep putting a lot of effort into making sure that Fly has no influence in these engagements. Pylai, what are you going to get? Acid Spray?
Oh, that's a good steal.
He doesn't want to drive the creep wave up here, though. It's going to reveal his entire team, and the fact the creep wave will probably lose aggro now, not getting up the hill. That Monkey King bar is now going to be done as well for Notel. He's got buyback, but he kind of needs the damage.
This is a very important moment. Envy, it feels like he just bought that MKB. He also did.
Yes.
He has 4,600 gold to boot after that fight, and the tower he took bottom and the couple of creep waves he found. 480 CS, leading by a big margin in terms of that.
He's going to have to get rid of his Shadow Blade if he wants something else. Like, unless he thinks that Silver Red is a good late game item. And in fact, he just buys a straight Moonshot. Doesn't want to give up anything else, just increase that attack speed. Misery breaks the smoke. He came in, the curse will come out from Crit. The Misery, he's still got the BKB available, the 4-star from Pylai, dragging him out by a miracle. Okay, that's a lot of damage. And Puppey, he TP's out in time. No, the curse from Crit will be used. They find Puppey using, controlling him in the air, but Envy comes into the engagement, going on to Miracle. How much damage have they got? Maybe with Weehar here, it could be a hell of a lot more. Miracle, Notel on the front lines. There goes Fly. There's no extra damage, and now Puppey, even with the Fiend's Grip, he can't Crit out of the engagement. Notel and Moon keep fighting. They're the last two players at left right for OG as Weehar dodges the hook shot. But Envy, he's here for blood and he wants Notel. They've got him, and with a crush, Moon has controlled. The blade melt time will almost be completely expended, and Envy, he's got 30 Soul Essence and he'll use it to kill off Moon. Moon wants to hook shot himself away, can't do it. OG, they are wiped. But Team Secret still have problems at home. The tier 4 towers are under siege. They still have super creeps in the mid and the bot lane, but still a big fight for Secret to win.
Yeah, it's one of those games where even though OG have 2 lanes of racks down, this guy who's going to die right now is the game decider. I don't think OG can win the game anymore without an Aegis, especially not if Secret have one. Eternal Envy is reaching the point where, you know, we're talking about all the damage he gets from the Essence Shift. It also gives armor. He's just tanking up so much in these fights. Right now he's sitting on 28 base armor. They can't kill him fast enough. Their heroes simply aren't built to deal that amount of damage. They have no Daedalus. They have no heavy single target damage from the Alchemist anymore. Against all of this armor and of course the Solar Crest that Puppey can put on him and the Enfeeble, between all of those things, he can't do it.
And this is the reason why Secret make the choice to put the cheese over on the Slark, so he's got that burst heal and allows Misery to be even more aggressive. To have that Aegis to the Immortal. OG, now
he's the one without buyback, so he needs it.
That's true. So OG, who do you even initiate on? You're having trouble killing off the Slark. Puppey's getting in position where he's able to get his disables off, and these fights are becoming very scrappy for OG. Fly can't really find the back lines. Okay, Envy, that's a walk under a tier 3 tower just saying hidey doody.
I doubt that's what he said.
Yeah, he would never use those words.
No one would.
Thanks, Send. Twit.
Some good wards still available for the Dire, so they're getting information. Hook shot!
They found Pylai Die. He's got his own force staff, gets over the cogs, and the rest of the team of OG can't chase it. They've got the concoction prepping, but Miracle can't reach him, and they actually lose their clockwork. Moon goes too deep, and Miracle, he just has to sit and wait, and now he's getting Fiend gripped up on the gyrocopter. There's no support. Fly will get the shallow grave off, allowing Miracle to fight a little bit longer, but it's not long enough. Not when Weeha kicks in. Moon will go for another hook shot, but what damage has he got? There's no more control. Weeha, his damage into Fly is way too much. Envy, he does go down. 99 seconds to the sideline, but buyback will be committed. They're trying to get forward, but Moon, he's on the back of Weeha. Four staff down from Pi, trying to buy space. The Yule Scepter up, but Queen of Pain is the blink available. The cogs don't get the burn, and now Weeha wants to fight. Moon locked in control, but he don't have enough damage to kill him off. Pylai Die, how does he survive so much during these fights? The hook shot off target. Weeha retreating out, TPing back to base. As this is becoming very tense, we've gone over the 1 hour mark here in Game 2 of the Grand Final. Then no team wants to make any mistakes.
And that was triple buyback from OG. Clockwork, Alchemist, Dazzle. They forced out the one from Envy, which I actually don't think he needed to use. They were in a position where they disengaged, but in those kind of fights, like in this late game, you go with your gut instinct.
Yeah.
You have to immediately. You don't have time to think. He had a feeling the fight was going to extend and that he would get back in. And maybe the buyback prevented OG from actually chasing down extra kills. But now, this next fight is the game if it happens within the next 5 minutes.
How long have we got?
There's no Aegis and no cheese, though, so OG actually did get a pretty good trade out of that after all. Not using the refresher on Wyvern either. They have all their tools available again.
They do. And they could... Oh, then again, can they force it? And do they need to force it? There's still 2 lanes of Raxus up. Is this almost the time where you look towards the BTs? Get Alchemist in with that and just push out the side lanes.
You lose the game if you get Mega Creeps in your cores die for OG. Then Secret will run down mid and just skip the barracks, go straight for tier 4s and throne. 2 minutes is more than enough after a long team fight with a billion agility on your Slark.
That's true.
So you got to be very careful. I don't think brute force is the way to go. I think OG, as much as it is probably pretty scary at this point, they have to play map control for another up to 10 minutes and get that Roshan. Secret seem to have got an edge over the last couple of fights. It's like they've figured out how to find the right assault angles into the fights. And Slark has got enough items that it works.
I'm wondering if this is now going to be Moon's way of like giving his team another chance. If he can complete up a Bloodstone, trigger it during the fight, and then just give that extra life back to OG. I don't feel he'll ever complete it. He's just got the Soul Booster at the moment. And Envy, oh, this is not where you want to go with the Shadow Blade's going to come underneath the Observer and Sentry Ward. They can see him clearly. Lincoln Spear will trigger. He gets the BKB off as well as the oldie. Attacking into Clockwork, gets the badge. The hookshot won't get him out of here, but Miracle catching Weeha. And with the curse, 2 minutes on the sideline. Buyback is available. The Pilot Eyes on the run. The homing missile chasing him, but Envy! Miracle! Just nommed all over him. The buyback comes out from Weeha now. He needs to stop this momentum on the bottom lane before OG can reach it, but he's so scared to come out.
And this time around, the positional advantage was for OG. Weeha couldn't find an angle. He blinked into the middle of the OG team and just got killed by Alchemist, getting absolutely nothing off. And that crucial mistake just forced Secret to try to disengage, but Alchemist ran down Envy. This game is over.
It really feels like it without this luck. Team Secret just lacking the firepower to repel OG. Misery trying to get around the back. They got the Nightmare, keeping Miracle out. Weeha blinks forward, and now Cursed controlling Misery as well. Gyrocopter finally free of the Fiend's grip. He can let the cooldown go. The BKB trigger from Secret. They need space, they need time, they need another hope, but it doesn't really exist. They've lost too many heroes. Secret, GG, and OG. The dream is 1 game away. They are 2-0 against Team Secret in this best of 5 final. The run through the entire lower bracket. It was even rough in the group. You could have said they could have come through into the upper bracket, but they were bumped down and now staring down 3 championship game opportunities against Team Secret.
It's incredible how many clutch plays both teams